All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for taking time out of your night. I see some folks connecting into the webinar, which is great. We'll just allow for them to get connected in with their video and audio. Being able to both hear and see us is super important. While they get connected in, I just want to go over a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. So you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type in your questions so that way the presenters can see them at any time. So you don't have to wait for a specific university to present. You can ask those questions at any point throughout the webinar tonight. So feel free to mention their college name in the question so that way they know it's for them. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot hear or see you, and this is the only way to communicate with them. This is just one of the many different sessions happening tonight, so please don't forget to sign up for other sessions and talk to any representatives that may interest you. And then finally, this presentation is being recorded and will be able to be viewed in about a week or so from the strivescan.com website. And now I'll turn it over to our first presenter of the night. We will have Mississippi College tell us a little bit more about their university, and every 6 minutes, we will shuffle through our representatives from each institution. So without further ado, I will pass it over to Mississippi College. Oh, Caitlin, you're still on mute.
Sorry, looking forward to talking with you guys a little bit about Mississippi College. So this is the university that I attended, and absolutely love MC and what it has to offer students. So I am your Georgia admissions counselor. I live here in the Birmingham area, and so I'm over in Georgia all the time. Looking forward to telling you a little bit about this school. So we are located in Mississippi, as you might have guessed. We are a 4-year private university. We're a Christian university, consistently ranked as one of the best colleges by U.S. News and World Report. And again, I experienced that personally. I want to tell you guys a little bit about Mississippi College, and hopefully you guys will see some opportunities that might interest you. We all are the oldest university in the state of Mississippi, been around for almost 200 years. So lots of great tradition, lots of history, but then also lots of strides forward, constantly evolving and constantly meeting the needs of this generation. How appropriate on National Women's Day, but we were the first co-ed institution in America to grant a degree to a woman, and that's a legacy that we're really proud of and are continuing to stand upon. 2 things that are super important in Mississippi College that make up this vision statement: academics, academic integrity, academic excellence, and commitment to the cause of Christ. So you're going to grow as a whole person at MC, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, all the ways that matter. And our professors and our students are really united in their goals. We do have a beautiful campus. It's 320 acres, lots of 100-year-old oak trees, brick buildings, tons of green space. We are a residential campus. So you drive onto campus, you drive off campus. Most of our students are going to live on campus or in the surrounding city. It's really a walkable school, no need to drive, catch a bus, anything like that. So it's very collegiate, and I'm a little bit biased, but it's one of my favorite places in the Southeast for sure. All right, again, the size of MC, that's one of the reasons I chose MC. We've got over 5,000 students. We're actually, total enrollment now is closer to about 5,300. So over 5,000 means you're never gonna know everybody, but you're always gonna know somebody. So I love being able to walk across campus and hear people call my name, be able to say hey to my friends, but also be able to have, new people that I meet at the football game or that I take to a date party or something like that. So it's a really great sweet spot. Our student to teacher ratio is 16:1. But I never had 16 people in my class. Most of your classes are going to be between 25 and 85. If you're in the pre-med realm, this is the list of some of our majors. We've got about 85 different things you can study. So depending on what you choose to study, it depends on the size of your classes. Our largest major is anything health science related. We're really well known for our medical school and dental school acceptance rates. So if you're wanting to go into the health sciences, maybe nursing, PT, OT, pre-med, as well as business or education, those are some of our top majors. You'll probably see closer to 50 to 80 in a lot of those classes. Like I said, we double the pre-med being one of our top majors. We do double the national average on how many of our students we send to medical school each year. We're one of the only schools in the country where we have a wet cadaver lab, meaning we have close to 30 dead bodies on campus that our seniors get to dissect every year. That's something that you can only do at the medical school level, except for at MC. All right. We also have we had the first PA school, physician's assistant, in the state of Mississippi. We also have one of the only law schools in the state. We send students all over the country for medical school and law school. And then we also have great programs right here in the state of Mississippi. If you want to do education, 100% passage rate. And that's just a few stats to back up over 85 different majors. So if there's something you want to know about, drop it in the chat. We can chat about that major. Like I said, the academics are really strong at MC. Your professors are probably going to know your name, probably by the first or second test. I was able to go to coffee with my professors, get extra help in study sessions or on exams. It's a place where all of our professors teach. They research, they write, but they are all in the classroom. So you're not going to have any TAs or grad assistants teaching your classes. And there are so many ways to get involved on campus, which is one of my favorite things about MC, are the ways to get connected. Whether that is through student government, intramural sports, we have clubs and tribes, which are very similar to sororities and fraternities. We have campus ministries, lots of social opportunities and academic organizations, just to help form a really well-rounded college experience. So in the classroom and outside of the classroom, there's a lot going on. We're actually up to 18 D2 sports now. We're in the Gulf South Conference. So we play against schools like North Georgia, West Georgia, Shorter, some schools y'all are familiar with, as well as many schools in Florida and Alabama. The Gulf South is a really competitive conference, and our men's soccer team just made playoffs. Our track and cross country team just won at indoor conference meet, which is really exciting. And we do have football in the fall, baseball season going on right now, as well as soccer, basketball, golf, lots of stuff going on. I mentioned this earlier, but most of our students live on campus, which means that we're not a commuter campus. There's over 11 different residence halls, apartment style, suite style, kind of classic dorm style. You get to pick every year where you live, from freshman year all the way up to senior year. Your building, your hall, your roommate, is totally up to you. You can bring a car. Any freshmen or all the way up to seniors can bring cars, and parking is included. This is one of our newest residence halls. It's an apartment condo style that has your own kitchen. You get your own bedroom. It's right across the street from campus. So you can still walk to all your classes, but it's a really great option for juniors and seniors as you're kind of like, starting to adult. It's really great. Meal plan does come with everything. And I did want to tell y'all real quickly before we go about our new Welcome Center. It's a great place to hang out on campus. We're right here in central Mississippi, right beside right beside the state's capital. No out-of-state tuition for you guys. And we do start scholarshiping at a 960 on the SAT and below a 3.0 GPA. You're going to be able to earn academic scholarships at MC. But reach out to me. This is my contact information right here. My name's Caitlin, and I'm going to help you guys get your scholarship package and admissions ready for Mississippi College. If y'all have any questions, let me know.
Awesome, thanks. And we will pass the screen share over to Presbyterian College to tell us a little bit more.
Well, hi guys, my name is Sabrina. I am an admissions counselor for the Georgia area and Columbia area. We're here with Presbyterian College. We are located in a small town called Clinton, South Carolina. We'll go ahead and get started. So we are the Blue Hose. The first question we usually get is, what is a Blue Hose? It actually, I don't know what's going on with my screen. It actually refers to the socks that football players used to wear back in the early 1900s. When sports writers would write about us, they would refer to us as the Blue Stockings, but this didn't strike much fear in our competitors, so it ended up getting shortened down to Blue Hose. All right, so we do come from a Scottish heritage, so occasionally you'll see people playing bagpipes around campus, but that's usually for like big events like graduation. This is our mascot, Scotty the Scotsman. You also see him periodically around campus. He's at every sporting event, homecoming, and occasionally he'll even pop in your classroom. All right, so here on campus, we have about 1,000 undergraduate students and 350 or so graduate students. As small as the campus is, we are very diverse. We have students travel across the world from over 35 states and 12 countries. So it is really cool to say that, you have friends that live all across the world. All right, so our average class size is 15. Don't let that intimidate you. Your freshman year, when you're taking your general education courses, you're starting in classes about 25, 30, but as you zone down into your major, that's when classes start to shrink. I'm actually a graduate of PC, and I've been in classes as small as 6 or 7. They do have their advantages, though. You get to build that relationship with your professor, really get that one-on-one time. The better relationship you have with them, the harder it is for them to give you a bad grade. And professors really have that flexibility to, have class outside. I've even had class at a professor's house one time, and, we just had dinner over there. So you really get that flexibility, which is really nice. You're more than just a number to them. They really want to, see you succeed. They're going to hold you accountable. So make sure you are going to class and everything. So we do have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio here on campus. All of our faculty members here have doctorate level degrees. They're not here to do research and then teach you on the side. They're solely here to teach you. So they really are investing all of their time and energy into you. They are willing to work with you. So if you ever have like a conflict come up, just talk to your professors. They are very flexible with that and everything. So at the end of your 4 years, they're the ones writing you recommendation letters and helping you find jobs and internships. So really benefit in growing relationships and making connections. All right, so with majors and programs, so we are a liberal arts college, so you're only going to see one broad area of study rather than it be broken down into different degrees. So you're not going to see stuff like exercise science or sports marketing, but this stuff is incorporated in the class or the majors that we do offer. The cool thing about that, it kind of gives you a broader pathway to go on. So like for me, I was a business major, but I got to learn accounting, marketing, finance, and so much more. So, if I don't like marketing, then, I can, switch up and go to accounting. Another cool thing is you can customize your academic experience here. So for me, like I was a business major, but I was also a Spanish minor. So 38% of our students do take on a second major or minor, and they do finish that within 4 years. So don't be afraid to add on, just make sure it's something that you can handle. All right, so 99% of our students do live on campus. We are a residential campus here. We are like a small communities here. So if you do meet somebody that went to PC, it's going to be like an instant connection just because they shared that same experience that you did while you were here. Because so many of our students do live on campus, we do heavily prioritize in investing in campus infrastructure. So over the past 5 or 6 years, we have invested $35 million in campus renovations. So with our application process, we don't require too much. We just require your application, your transcript, and then we're just going to ask you 3 short answer questions. We have early action and regular decision. So I advise you to go for early action just because it's non-bonding. So you can actually receive your admissions decision early, as well as your financial aid package without the actual obligation to commit. All right, so we do make PC really affordable. We've invested $24 million that's available to you in scholarships and financial aid. So when you apply to PC, you actually qualify for our merit scholarship, which ranges from $10,000 to $25,000 per year. And it's actually academic based and everything's kind of automated. So this is a great giant chunk of money that mom and dad do not have to pay every year for you. The value that PC has to offer is that 95% of our students are either employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduating. This number has been this high for the past 6 years, which is awesome to say. This is a way we would like you guys to keep in touch with us. So you guys can just scan this barcode. That would be great. All right.
Awesome, thanks. And we'll pass it over to Elijah.
All right, I think everybody should be able to see this. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elijah. I'm an admission counselor here at Earlham College. I graduated from here, matter of fact, in 2018. I played basketball here, majored in math education, and I'm originally from Goldsboro, North Carolina. So for me, making sure that I was going to a school that I felt safe, comfortable, and I felt like, I was very taken care of, Earlham definitely did that for me. I still live in Richmond currently. And like I said, I feel like the surrounding areas like Indianapolis, Dayton, Ohio, Kentucky, and even like right here in Richmond, I feel comfortable at where I am. So I'm just here to talk to you a little bit about what the school can offer you as far as a great education, great connections, and great experiences. So a little bit about Earlham. We are a Quaker school founded in 1847. You don't have to be a Quaker to attend here. We just go off the principles and practices of what Quakers believe in. And I'll talk a little bit about that in the later bullet points. We have talented faculty and dedicated staff that will be committed to your success. So like a lot of other schools, but for us, we really want to focus on the connections and the experiences that you have here. So on top of the great education that you will have, faculty, they will get to know you on a day-to-day basis, a face-to-face basis. So they want to make those personal connections with you. We're located in Richmond, Indiana, so it's in the Midwest, but I feel like it's a great area, around 36,000 residents, very diverse on campus, represent 46 different states, 54 different countries around the US. So across campus, you'll see every type of person, every culture on campus. And I think that's a great way to get your education, also to live, because when you get to the real world, you're not just going to be around one set of ethnicity groups. You're going to be around a whole lot of different other people. And a little bit right here, the Quaker values, principles, and practices. So, that's basically respect for people, integrity, peace and justice, simplicity, and community. So within your 4 years, you'll be implementing these different type of traits and practices on a day-to-day basis. So the way that you come in, honestly, you'll come out, 99% better than the way you came in, just because you're around people who have the same kind of characteristics and similarities close to you. And we have global influences and connections. And I'll talk a little bit about our, internship opportunities for you guys and how that can really expand your way of learning. Distinctive community. So Earlham is around 1,100 students. So I feel like that's not too big, not too small. So within that student body, you will have maybe around 15 students in your average classes. As you may know, your freshman year, everybody's trying to get acclimated to campus together, take those beginner level courses. But the higher you go in your education, the lower class sizes you'll see. So with me, I started out maybe 25, 30 kids in my beginner level classes my freshman year, but then getting to my senior year, I may have had like 5 students in my class. And with that being said, I did major in math education. And the thing about that is I created my own major. In the next slide, I'll show you how you can do that as well. And then rigorous academics that challenge and support in equal measure. I feel like it's not really hard to go to Earlham, honestly, but we do push you because honestly, the acceptance rate and the graduation rate is very high. So, it is not going to be a cakewalk, but you just want to make sure that you're utilizing all your, resources, talking to your professors, asking questions. If you do that and limit procrastination, now I say, you're going to procrastinate at times because you're human. But if you limit that and go to study halls and ask questions, it'll be a breeze for you. So here are the different majors and minors that we do have here. So it's around 40 different majors and minors. So you can major, double major, major and minor. But like I did, I created my own major. And I think that was a great experience for me. I was able to take some beginner level math courses and some beginner level psychology courses that kind of fulfilled my major. So not every student does that, obviously, but if you want to go into something that isn't really specific that you see right here on our list, but you want to do it, just talk to the registrar's office. They'll give you some courses that'll kind of make up your major, and you can do that. I graduated on time. I graduated within 4 years, no extra semesters or years. I graduated on time. So it was a great experience, and it can do the same thing for you guys as well. Talked a little bit about this earlier already, but your class size will be around 13 to 15 students. Your student to faculty ratio will be around 9-to-1. Professors, they want you to call them by their first name just because you can build those relationships and those connections. I'm not going to lie, it was a little weird at first just because I'm from the South, so I go off the Southern hospitality of the Mr. and Mrs. last name. But honestly, I do have a lot of faculty and professors that I do call by first name just because I'm so close with them. And that's the beauty about Earlham. They don't look at you as a as a student or just a number. They look at you as a person. They want to make sure that you're getting the best education possible. They want to make sure that they get you across that finish line. They do that for every single student. And then best classroom experience by the Princeton Review. So there's a lot of discussion-based classes. So there's not just the traditional lectures and look off the board and take notes. You're actually engaged. So there might be topics that you'll talk about, and you can give your opinion, and then somebody else might have a different statement. And then it's a lot of healthy dialogue. So you're not just closed-minded to your way of learning. You get to also hear how other people think, and it could enhance your way of thinking as well. So this right here is one of our biggest selling points about Earlham. So the Earlham Advantage, which is basically guaranteed funding for any internship or research experience you decide to do. So essentially every single student on campus has access to this, and it's around $5,000 that is given to you. So it's not a loan, it's not a scholarship, you don't have to pay it back. It's literally once you're a student at Earlham, you have this. So this will help you with your internship. You can stay on campus, you can go out the country, stay within the states, wherever you want to do to help you out with your internship, you could definitely use that. Student life, I think this is the last slide I got for you guys. So this right here, just 17 different men's and women's intercollegiate teams at the D3 level, 60 different clubs and organizations on campus. Most students live on campus all 4 years, 8 residence halls, themed and friendship houses, and then apartment style living. I think I'm almost out of time, but if you do have any questions, you can email me, I'll drop it in the chat. And then we are part of the Common App and also have our own application as well. And that is it, thank you.
All right, we will pass it over to University of Tennessee.
Hey guys, sorry. Perfect. So my name is Kevin Dotson. I am the Georgia Regional Recruiter for the University of Tennessee. Today I'll share with you information about our admissions process, the requirements, the campus life, the city of Knoxville as a whole, scholarships, and how you can come visit the University of Tennessee. So located in Knoxville, we're probably about 3.5 hours from Atlanta, which many of my students, that's where I'm recruiting from. We have about 24,000 students, and of those students, 70% of our classes, 70% of our students, of our classes have 30 students or less. 89% of our students receive some type of financial aid. So last year, the university awarded over $61 million in merit and need-based scholarships. 84% of our reported students after graduation have a job or they're attending graduate school. So our degrees truly open doors for you to pursue the different opportunities within your major, but also that it really does pay off when it comes to investing in your education at UT. So we offer over 360 different majors. So whatever you want to do, we have it, and you could definitely make it your own. You can do that by majoring and minoring, double majoring, majoring with a concentration. You can major with the concentration and have a minor as well. So again, whatever you want to do, you can make it your own. Also, to highlight a few of our programs, we have environmental and soil science. We have audiology and speech pathology. These are 2 programs that specifically are not offered within the state of Georgia. That gives you in-state tuition at the University of Tennessee. We also offer supply chain management, which is top 5 in the nation. And you can also study engineering, whether it's aerospace, whether it's biomedical, computer, nuclear. And we're about 30 minutes away from the Oak Ridge National Lab. And that is the place where the Manhattan Project was, which was the first atomic bomb. We are an outdoorsy city, so campus sits right on the Tennessee River. You can also see the Great Smoky Mountains from our campus. You can go hiking, paddleboarding, kayaking, cave diving, biking, skiing, just the whole 9. Also, downtown is only 15 minutes from our campus. So if you're not the outdoorsy type and you just want to, stuff your bellies, you can definitely do that because we have a lot of different eating areas at Market Square. We have free concerts there as well at Market Square. And we have an art crawl on the first Friday of every month. Also, there are a number of businesses, corporations, and government agencies also headquartered in Knoxville. And many of our alums and our presidents, CEOs, and other high-ranking officials within those organizations. So students are offered internships and opportunities at these places as well. I mentioned earlier the Oak Ridge National Lab. We also have the Pilot Corporation, which has the largest truck stops supply chain in the in the US. And we also have entertainment companies like Regal Cinemas, which is the second largest theater corporation, and that's housed in Knoxville, Tennessee. So we holistically review our applicants. So we're taking into consideration everything that you're submitting. There is a required essay, and you choose from 7 prompts. You can choose to submit your test scores, and if you do choose the test optional route, you will need to complete 1 additional essay. We also ask that students complete a self-reported academic record, and you're simply just reporting your grades as they appear on your transcript. The middle 50% of our applicants have a GPA between a 3.6 and a 4.2. Our ACT scores are between a 24 and a 31. The SAT scores are between 1180 and a 1410. There are optional items that you may submit as well. Although they're optional, I highly recommend students submitting those additional items just because committees will review your application for honors and scholarships. So apply by November 2nd. That's our early action deadline. By this time, you'll get a decision by mid-February, and I'm sorry, mid-December for if you submit it by November 2nd. You also want to apply by this date for competitive programs like our pharmacy program, music, and our nursing program, and also for honors. If you apply by December 15th, you'll receive a decision by mid-February. And May 1st, we just want to know that you're coming and that you will join us here at Rocky Top. So we have scholarships available to our students as well by simply applying and submitting test scores. You see here, our volunteer scholarship starts with a minimum 3.8 core weighted GPA. We have another scholarship, the last one was the volunteer. We have the Tennessee Explorer with a 3.6 core weighted GPA. And here you can see the amounts that's offered. And this is online for you all to be able to see. And lastly, for our test optional applicants, we have the Beacon Scholarship. With the Beacon Scholarship, it is a minimum 3.8, and that's for you to be considered. And we're looking for extracurricular engagement, demonstrated leadership, and volunteerism. Although we're offering this scholarship, it's not necessarily guaranteed just because you have a 3.8 in all those different activities. It's reviewed by a committee. So we focus strongly also on student success, of course. So whether you need assistance academically or career-wise, we do have staff dedicated to help. We offer a multitude of housing options. So you can choose from traditional style, suite style, or apartment style when it comes to housing. And again, with our population of 24,000 students, you really want to be able to find your niche when it comes to campus. So we have 600 plus clubs and organizations. It's a great way to make a big campus seem small, but it's really hard to make a small campus feel big. Definitely come tour with us, whether it's a campus tour, virtual tour, or chat with current students. It's a great way to really get a sense of UT and if it's the next home, if it's your next home for the next 4, 6 to 8 years. And guys, finally, contact me if you do have any questions. My name is Kevin Dotson. I am the Georgia Regional Rep for Tennessee, and we hope to see you here at Rocky Top. Go Vols.
Awesome. Thank you. And we will we'll move it over to the Ohio State University.
All right. Hello. Good evening, everybody. We'll go ahead and present this. My name is Bianca Durant. I am the regional recruiter. So much like you heard before, I am based in Atlanta. So what that means for you is that not only am I familiar with you and your counselor in your school, but I also read applications. So I take all of that information into account when I am reading and reviewing applications as well. So again, I am based here in Atlanta. I am so excited to be here with you all. We're going to talk a bit about what we have to offer, things like academics, exploring through Ohio State and through our experiences, Columbus, Ohio, how to apply, our merit scholarships, and then important dates and deadlines to keep in mind as well. So first and foremost, your academics, excuse me, our academics are a powerhouse and something that are so important to us. And your opportunities begin in our academic programs. We offer over 200 different undergraduate majors. And within these majors, you'll see about 500 different specializations and minors. So just about anything you want to do, we have to offer. I feel like the last time I got stumped was some student came to me and said some major with lasers, and we do not have that one quite yet. But we do offer about 13,000 different classes. So pretty much anything you want to do, you can really dive in into just about any sort of discipline. Another thing that goes hand in hand with that is our digital flagship program. So all of our incoming freshmen will receive that brand new iPad Air, complete with that protected case, an Apple Pencil, and a smart keyboard. And you'll also receive all of the training on how to use that and software as well. And so we feel like being an academic powerhouse, you want to make sure that we can continue to have things accessible to our students. Next, one thing that is important to us is our learning through experience. One thing that Ohio State does best is complement what's happening in the classroom with opportunities happening outside of the classroom. And we encourage hands-on learning through things like research, internship, co-op, study abroad, and so much more. So pretty much everything you see listed on that slide, students take advantage of. Things like you've heard of before, like study abroad, but also some really cool things like service learning. If you see it, that picture down at the bottom, that is our Buckeye-thon. Our students raised $1.3 million for children in cancer research. And so I always think that's amazing that a group of students raised so much money for such a worthy cause. Next, we'll talk about Columbus, Ohio. Our students take full advantage of being located in Columbus, Ohio. And if you're not from there, you may not be familiar or know much about what Columbus has to offer. I always say Ohio is kind of one of those states where if you don't have family from there, you're not super familiar with us, you might not know too much about it. But one of the cool things about Columbus, Ohio is that we're actually the 15th largest city in the United States. And so our students have access to pretty much everything that a major metropolitan city has. Things like shows, concerts, professional sports, amazing restaurants. So I always say that Columbus is definitely a hidden gem. We truly have something for everybody, something that somebody wants to find. And so I always encourage people, even though we're not offering tours, to come and take advantage of Columbus if you can. Next is a bit about the application. We'll switch a little bit about and talk a little bit about how to apply to Ohio State. There is one application that we use to apply for our campuses, and that is going to be the Common Application. The Common Application is online and it opens up August 1st before the senior year, and it has a $60 application fee. Due to the uncertainty of future test dates and the availability of those tests, the Ohio State will continue to be test optional for the 2022 year. Got to transition into saying that now. ACT and SAT scores are not required, but if you have them, we encourage you to send them, especially those of you who did take the time to study for those and really prepare. If you have them, we definitely want to see them. And all of that information is on apply.osu.edu. So hopefully all that information is easy for you to find right there on the website. Next, we'll talk a bit about holistic review, something that is not unique to Ohio State, but that we feel like we do in a unique way. One thing that is important to us is making sure that we are getting the entire picture of the student. So that means that we are looking at things such as your rigor, your involvement, what are you doing outside of the classroom, your ability to contribute to our diversity on campus through those things that are mentioned there. So not just your race and ethnicity, but where you're from as well, the type of economic status, all of that we feel like really brings a sense of diversity to the campus, which we appreciate. Also, your leadership. Your college application is not a place to be humble. Please brag about yourself. We are extremely interested to know everything that you are doing and what makes you you and what makes you unique. And so again, apply.osu.edu has that information on where you can see exactly what we like to see in the application and in an applicant. Next is going to be a bit about our merit-based scholarships. Like I said, something to keep in mind is the fact that we do try to reduce the cost and offer accessibility to our students. And one way that we're going to do that is through our scholarships. And one way is through our merit-based scholarships that the Office of Admission gives out. These are competitive and not guaranteed. So we tell our students, please apply by November 1st. And so that way we can really get a picture of who you are as an applicant and early. Also understanding that that there are a wide range of dollar amounts that students can receive for this scholarship, and that larger awards might require some additional steps. So keeping that in mind as well. Finally, is our two important dates and deadlines. First is going to be November 1st, and that's for autumn 22. For those of you who are thinking about merit scholarships, please apply by November 1st. That is required. For those of you interested in things like our engineering program, our moral scholarship program, which is a fantastic scholarship and program that students have the opportunity to take advantage of while on campus, as well as honors and scholars. Honors and scholars is a cool program. Honors is what you traditionally think of as an honors program, where students have the opportunity to take difficult classes and challenge themselves. Scholars is a little bit different. It's an opportunity for students to choose one of about 17 unique programs. So if you say that you want to challenge yourself, maybe not academically, but in other ways, we encourage you to look at one of those 17 academic programs, and they do not have to go along with your academics. So you can be studying theater and do a business scholars program or something like that. The next important deadline to keep in mind is that February 1st deadline, and that's our final application deadline, as well as that FAFSA deadline as well. I thank y'all so much for taking the time to learn more about The Ohio State University, and sincerely hope that you learned something that is going to change your perspective of Columbus and The Ohio State. I now have the amazing opportunity to turn it over to Jacksonville State University. Thank y'all.
All righty, let's see if we can get presenting here. So my name is Taylor, and I represent Jacksonville State University alongside my awesome colleague, Brett Underwood. So we are both actually based around Georgia. Actually, Brett is in Atlanta, and I am in Jacksonville right now, but I'm really excited to tell you about just Jacksonville State University, my favorite place to be. So thanks all for being here today. Jacksonville, Alabama. So we are located in the heart of Alabama. We are like kind of split in between Birmingham and Atlanta. And when you type it into your phone, we're actually like exactly 100 miles away from Atlanta, an hour and a half away from Atlanta, and about the same distance from Birmingham, which is really nice. So even though we're located in a slightly smaller town, if you ever want to escape to either Atlanta or Birmingham for the weekend, experience something different, you definitely can. So the top 3 bullet points that you see on the screen basically tell you that we are a mid-sized institution as stated by the state of Alabama. We just broke the 9,000 students this past fall, which is really exciting. Our enrollment increased despite a pandemic, which is crazy. But just like every other college, we have different ways for you to get involved on campus. We have over 95 academic programs. Almost half of those are actually offered completely online. So if you're trying to chill at home for your first year for COVID, that's totally fine. But we also have popular spots throughout the town, despite being a small town. One of my favorite things is that I am not super athletic, but I really love the outdoors. So we have the Chief Ladiga Trail, which actually runs all the way to Atlanta. It changes its name once it changes the border. But that's really cool. And also Longleaf Studios. I just was there like 2 weeks ago, helping students recreate a scene from Jaws, which is insane. But we have a whole filming studio where actually Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland recently filmed, I think it's called The Devil All the Time. It's on Netflix. It's a good movie. Y'all should watch it. But yeah, so if you ever want to be a part of something like that, come to JSU. So we also want to tell you about how we are a home away from home. So I am actually not from Alabama or Georgia. I'm actually from Ohio. So it's nice to be able to say like, okay, coming down to the South, like you want to make sure that you are like meeting people that kind of have, again, those same like familiarities as you. So for being a home away from home, we do have different on-campus events and then also community events. But Jacksonville, like it says in the top bullet point, we're really, really centered around JSU. Our football games are a literal blast. The Marching Southerners, if y'all are bored in your free time, please look up the Marching Southerners. They're our marching band. They are wonderful. They will blow you away. But also on campus, we have different support systems in place to help you out, not only as a just like to help you out if you're going through something, but we also want to make sure that you're taking like preventative measures to take care of yourself. So we have the Academic First Center for Excellence. We also have disability support services, free counseling, which is currently offered virtually because of COVID, but navigating COVID in general. We've been very transparent about our like just general low numbers of COVID cases on campus. And we're not afraid to have that conversation about how we can keep you and our faculty and staff safe. But thinking about after you graduate, we have a huge alumni network, especially in Georgia, who are wanting to help you get a job and make sure that you are successful after you graduate. But we want to also mention that we coin ourselves as the friendliest campus in the South. I laugh because it's not an actual honor that we've gotten, but it's just what we like to call ourselves. So thinking about the fact that you are not from Alabama, neither am I. Like I mentioned earlier, we have students from all over the world who come to JSU, specifically from 52 different countries. So we have an international house on campus where we house international students and American students to kind of to help them learn more about each other's culture, which I really, really believe in. We were one of the first institutions to have international students on campus. But we also want to make sure that you know that your concerns and any kind of questions that you have, we're going to listen to. Just this morning, I saw the president literally opening the door and like holding the door for students walking into an academic building. That's a true story. Like I saw that this morning. So just want to make sure that you have any questions about in-state, out-of-state tuition, just stuff like that, because those concerns, we're here to help you with that. We are test optional and test blind for 2021. We're still looking into 2022 and what that's going to look like. But for right now, I can guarantee that there probably will be a $35 application fee that you'll have to pay. And then we just need your high school transcripts in order for you to apply. For value and affordability, normally our tuition sits around $16,386. That's including meal plan. That's everything. And that's only if you live on campus for your first year. You want an apartment for your second year? Do it. But we also have in-state tuition opportunities for just about everybody. You kind of have to go out of your way to get out-of-state tuition, to be honest with you, because we offer merit-based scholarships for just about every single student. And that can range from a couple $100s to almost all tuition, which is really awesome. We also have performance-based scholarships if you're interested in music, sports, whatever. You can get free scholarship money just from that. But we also encourage you to still apply for FAFSA because that can really help you. So further questions, y'all can please reach out to either Brett or myself. And we're going to drop here in the chat some links. So if you want to learn more about JSU, you can, or if you want to tell us more about yourself and how we can reach out to you in the future, you can do that as well. Text or call us at those numbers. And I just hope that y'all have a great day. Thank you for listening to me.
All right, awesome. Thank you all so much for your information and just input on all of your universities. I just want to remind students before you log off, there is a quick survey that will pop up on your screen after you X out of this session, just letting us know how we did. And we would appreciate if you answered the 3 quick questions that are on there. And don't forget to attend other sessions, as there's more tonight, and there's also another event tomorrow night. And you can register for those on the same website as you did for this one, strivescan.com. So we will kind of just hang out here for the last 2 minutes of the event to make sure that you have any last minute questions. You can put them in the Q&A box. Our reps will be here for the next 2 minutes or so, just here to answer any questions. So take the time to do it. And again, thank you to all of our reps for taking time out of your night to speak with our students.